Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today on Lifting the Getting. Today, I'm doing an interview all about Hot Wheels, which is a new musical which is running from British Youth Music Theatre's company and is going to be performed this weekend, the 23rd and 24th April, at the Square Chapel Arts Centre in Halifax. Link for tickets is down below.
Hi, I'm Ellie Jones. I'm the director and writer of the project.
I'm Kylara Pope and I am one of the cast members. I'm part of Charlie's Angels and I also MC the Belts.
The project is a musical, all-female musical about roller derby, which is a very female-friendly sport, an athletic sport that has a amazing attitude towards female empowerment, to women taking up space, to the ability for women to get knocked down. It's got a bit like rugby, but on roller skates, really.
Yeah.
And the story is about a girl called Charlie who has not very much going on in her life, and she joins a roller derby team and she finds herself and becomes the leader of the team and eventually wins the championship, and along the way becomes someone that becomes braver and stronger and falls in love.
Amazing. And kind of what inspired, I know you kind of said that female empowerment, what kind of inspired it to be roller derby?
So when I was thinking about, I was writing a project, due to write a project for British Youth Music Theatre, and they wanted me to do the all-female project. And while that was happening, lots of my friends were posting on Facebook and the like about roller derby groups and things, and it just kept popping up, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. So I went along to a roller derby session and had a brilliant time before with like roller skating, and I was really inspired by the ethos of the women that were in the leagues, in the roller derby leagues, the idea that all bodies are good bodies, the idea that women can take up space, that they can get hurt, that they get back up again. It just felt like a really strong project for a group of young women.
Yeah. And
on top of that, they've got an incredible kind of punk goth look about them, and they have some brilliant names, and you get to make your derby name, which is hilarious. So you can choose what your derby name is. Mine is Ellie Mental. And you also, they have tricks that are called things like the Whirl Whip of Doom. So who wouldn't want to write a musical with a number called that in it?
Yes, it sounds very strong. And then can you tell me then a little bit about your character?
That's okay. So I play Beth in Charlie's Angels, which are the group that Charlie joins, and none of us are very good and we improve as we go. My character is a law student and she's looking for an escape and something else with her life. So she goes there and she makes a load of friends and becomes a little bit more confident in herself. And her derby name is Judgmental. And then I also play the MC in the bouts, so I get to do lots of fun stuff with that, and commentate the game and everything that's going on.
Amazing. And as we already said, kind of it's all female. And how important that is that to you guys? I know we kind of recently there's been a lot of kind of sort of shows like Six of obviously the big ones, but kind of how important is that to you, kind of you guys, because you're kind of a younger kind of company?
I've really loved being an all-female cast. It has actually made me a lot more confident in myself, because everyone here is so lovely as well, that everyone always lifts each other up in the morning and being like, oh, you look so lovely, I love what you're wearing and stuff like that. And it's such a lovely environment that you don't really get elsewhere. And it's been really lovely. So it's not only, I guess, have we like seen how that sport can then help a character and a person grow, we've helped each other grow in the process of doing a show about it.
Yeah, I think that's really true. The young women here are so supportive of each other, of the project. They help each other out with everything, whether that be dance moves, remembering lines, singing, the harmonies, any of those things, but also just general life stuff, looking after each other if people are upset, looking after each other if things that happen at home, any of those things. It's such a supportive and incredible atmosphere to be with a large group of women, because there are, I think, about 35, 36 of us. I think there's one chap around.
There you go. What's kind of the creative process then, kind of either for kind of you, the writing, directing, or performing? Kind of, do you have to kind of then do much research? I mean, obviously, I know the show. I presume it's not full out roller derby with the kind of roller skates and all that.
We do have some roller skating. In fact, Kylara roller skates.
Yeah, I roller skate in the first number where we're all learning how to skate. So it's really fun, like standing up on them and being like pretending to like be really wobbly and fall a little bit. And then Charlie goes on her skates for the final bout, which is really cool. So we have a little bit of actual skating in there.
Yeah, it would be impossible in a 2-week project to teach everyone to skate well enough to be able to do roller derby and sing and dance and, you know, all of that. But yeah, we've got some skating in there just so that people can get a feel for that. And then lots of the rest of the bouts and the practice is done in trainers, but with the skating actions, I suppose. So sort of skating choreography rather than actually on wheels. The creative process is really fun with BYMT because the project develops itself around the people that you've got in the room often. So we start and we write for the young people that are with us. So we try and adapt those characters that fit to them in a way. So some of the conversations that we might have about what kind of women might join a roller derby team, what kind of women they would like to play, and try and write some of that into the roles. Interestingly, we've developed an older generation of nanas this time around, and that's been quite a lot of fun.
Yeah. And obviously, people who don't know, the show kind of it was originally on 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we did the first version of it in Plymouth, again as a BYMT show. So that was the first outing, I suppose. Yeah.
And is it kind of, obviously, I know the pandemic's been in the middle, but has that kind of allowed you to have that time to sit with the show kind of and, like you say, develop it further?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's got the same themes, I suppose, but yeah, it's definitely developed further. I think the first time around, Charlie's story wasn't as strong. So the individual girl who finds herself during roller derby wasn't as strong. There's another character that she falls in love with, Molly, and it was slightly more from her point of view. So that's changed a little bit. And as I say, our older generation nanas that are at the Knit and Natter Club where the roller derby takes place. So they come in after roller derby at like 3-4 in the afternoon in the village hall. And they've been developed further in this. So they've got some fun numbers.
Amazing. What's been the kind of, again, creatively or performing it, what's been the kind of biggest challenge for you guys with staging the show?
I think one of the biggest challenges for me personally has been the dance, because I struggle with that. But everyone here is so supportive. So like if you mess something up, someone does then go, oh, do you need some help with that? And it's the same with harmonies and stuff like that. So I think learning everything so quickly has been a challenge, and being like, here is a script, learn it as much as you can overnight. And it's like, okay. And it's very like full on, but we've all like, I think being supportive of each other has really helped with that and helped people not get too overloaded and panicked, meaning that we could get as far as we have, obviously.
Yeah, it's an enormous challenge that I think we work 9 till 9 every day. So they're really long hours and everybody's very tired. And we'll do things like we'll come back in, we'll say, oh, we think we need a number here. And then the next day the number will be written and they have to learn it there and then we'll try and put it on its feet. So it's really fast paced. And that is brilliant and exhilarating and also terrifying.
Yeah, of course. And what would kind of be what do you want an audience to take away from coming to see the show?
I would really like the female audience members to feel a bit more positive about themselves and maybe consider taking up a club somewhere, not just like roller derby, but something that they can be a part of, so they can get that feel of being in a group atmosphere, because that's what I've loved most about this.
Yeah, I think that's true for me too. The team spirit of the sisterhood, I think, is a really big, a powerful thing for me. And the athleticism of the sport, I think, is really amazing. And also, within a musical, the athleticism of the girls and how hard they work. So I would like an audience to see that we have a young generation of women that are going to change the world.
Yes. And what would be, if they've got one, a favourite moment for you guys in the show?
I mean, I might be a bit biased, but I really love doing the MC stuff. So I also think visually it's really interesting to look at with how we've taken, like, the sport of roller derby has been taken and like put onto stage without the skates. I think it's really interesting to watch with that. We've got like a lift at one point, which is so interesting. And getting to stand at the back, I get to see it all and then like commentate it, and I find it very, very fun.
Yeah, I just like seeing them all on stage singing and dancing together, if I'm honest.
Amazing. And what kind of, obviously it's a new musical, and how important do you guys think it is for an audience to come out and support new musicals?
I think it's essential. It's really hard to get a musical from the page to the stage. It's expensive. It takes a long time in development, and if we don't have people out supporting them, there won't be any new musicals, and we'll just be reviving the same old all the time. I think this country has a great reputation for theatre and musicals, and new musicals are coming through all the time now, and there's lots of great schemes, and BYMT have been producing new musicals every year for I don't know how long now, maybe 10-15 years, probably longer, and they produce up to 9 musicals every summer, most of which are new and often created in the room with the young people. So yeah, absolutely, people should come out and support this, not least because they're new musicals, but because they are the next generation of performers and writers and directors coming through.
Amazing. I wholeheartedly agree. I tend to wrap up my interviews with some quick fire questions. These are more just about you guys rather than the show. And the first one would be, what would be the first piece of theatre that you guys can remember seeing in your lives?
I actually know this. I had never really been a theatre person, and then I went and saw Wicked in 2015, and then that was the moment I decided this is what I wanted to do as a career. I'd never considered it, but when I saw like the Defying Gravity moment, I decided that's what I want to do with my life, and it's been like my massive thing ever since. So Elphaba is a dream role of mine.
Wow. I don't remember what the show was, but I remember going to see a show when I was probably in primary school with the school, and it was a show that was about mathematics. And I remember there was a song in it that had the words something like "the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection." That is the thing I remember from it. It was, from my mind, amazing.
Yeah. What would be, it doesn't have to be career based. I mean, one might be being Wicked, but what would be one thing on your bucket list?
Probably either just being on the stage. It's like a massive like West End, Broadway, just even if it was just to see a show on Broadway. Also, I really want to go to Disney World, so that's probably the other one. Really like Disney.
Yes.
I think, I don't know, I think it would be my children having children.
Yeah. Who are your biggest inspirations?
Oh, I'm going to say my children.
Yeah.
I'm going to say my older brother, but I really hope he never hears this because it'll go to his head. But he inspires me a lot. He works very hard and it inspires me to work hard.
What would be the last book that you guys read?
Oh, that's a really good question. I can't remember any of the books I've read recently. Hold on.
I'm trying to think. I can think what it is, but I can't remember the name.
Oh, How Musicals Work. I was reading it in order to write this musical.
Yeah.
Most recent book I read was I Know You Did It. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's a bit of a murder mystery in a high school setting. I thought it was really interesting.
Very good. What does theatre mean to you both?
Oh my gosh. It's one of my biggest inspirations, and it's also my biggest source of joy, not just when I see a piece of theatre, but when I perform in a piece of theatre. It's where I feel the most at home, and it's really helped me be more me. So it really is my home, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, I've been doing it since I was 15, and I'm now quite a lot older than that. I mean, it's my entire life, really. I've never had another job. I've never done anything other than that. It's my family, they're my tribe. It's my entire world, probably. Bar my children and my chap.
What would be the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Be yourself. Don't try and be anyone else. Don't try and emulate what they do or think that they're better than you. Just be yourself, uniquely you.
I actually think it's possibly a very similar piece of advice with like be yourself, and also try and stay with a positive outlook. And the more positive your mentality is, the easier it is in this industry because of how often people can get rejected. It's going to happen. So like having the mentality of just keep trying.
Very, very wise for you both. And my final question for you both today is, why should an audience simply book tickets to Hot Wheels?
I think it's really visually fun to see, and the harmonies are so stunning. I like whenever I hit one of my harmonies really well, I'm like, oh, this sounds so good. Yeah. So, and also just for the sense of like a family feel, because it's on a thruster stage, so it's very much like you're right with it. Yeah. So it's very cool.
Why should they see the show? Because it's exhilarating and exciting and full of banging tunes and great dance routines, and you're going to be seeing the next generation of performers that will be in the West End.